Hey guys, it's your Duke. I'm back, and I didn't expect myself to be back so soon. I said it'd take a week to get the new video up, but my friend Jerry came over. You may know him as Third Age Minis, and we decided to film a battle report. And today I picked up a tripod, so hopefully everything's more stabilized and you get to see all the footage. The game today was Rohan against Moria, 750 points, Clash by Moonlight. The style of the battle report might be different from ones you're used to. We don't have too many videos of the dice rolling, and rather than some still shots, I took videos of like a POV style where you can see our movements from various angles on the table. So for the next few battle reports, we may be adjusting them. I think next week or in the coming few days, we might do a live battle report where we're talking about what's happening rather than doing a voiceover. But for this one, it'll be a voiceover, so y'all can follow along with the video or just have it playing while you're painting and hobbying, whatever you choose. And just let us know how the audio sounds and how the video quality looks. I tried adjusting the FPS and the ratio for the video. Hopefully it'll fit the YouTube screen. If not, please let me know and we'll readjust. But sit back and enjoy. My Moria force consisted of Druzak, Ashrak, a Black Shield captain, and a Goblin Archer captain, with 10 Venom Backs, 12 Black Shields, a Cave Troll, 2 Marauders, a Bat Swarm, and a handful of Goblins. The opposing force was led by Helm, Hammerhand, with roughly 40 some Rohan, and I believe 2 captains and a huntsman. So as you can see, I deployed my Moria force mostly in the center of the deployment zone, while Jerry deployed his army more evenly across the deployment zone. And here's a top overview of the table that we were playing on for the game. So Jerry got priority first, and he began his movement. As you can see, pretty straightforward, nothing complex, no marches, just moving up the board, trying to get his bows and throwing spears into range of my goblins. Because of Clash by Moonlight, he was really aiming for the bonuses for the +1 to wound, while Helm and his cav went around to the left side of the board, aiming towards my weaker side. My first turn was pretty straightforward as well. I chose to avoid Helm and his cav for the first turn, so rather than moving forward, I pushed back my Black Shields and the Cave Troll, while on my right side, with the War Marauder and Archers, only a few units moved up to receive the benefit of Clash by Moonlight. Goblins have Cave Dweller, so they receive no penalty for shooting at full range, while my Spiders decided to move up the board just for a better position for next turn. Onto the first turn of shooting. The Rohan player had no shots to take due to moving at full speed. However, the Goblins decided to shoot, but due to their poor shoot value of 5, no shots landed on their marks. On to turn 2, the Rohan had priority and continued to march up the field once again, closing the distance towards the Goblins. Onto the Goblins turn 2. I threw 2 Spiders towards Helm's cav line, while my main bulk of the force followed just shortly behind. I wanted to tie them down just for a turn and continue the lanes of fire for my Goblins, hoping to pick off an extra model or 2 if possible. Turn 2 probably had the saddest display of archery I've ever seen. Both the Rohan and Moria killed nothing at all. And onto the combat. The first casualty of the game was one of the Rohan riders died to a Venomback spider. The Rohan did do a single wound to the Venomback, and the Marauder, no one died in that combat. For next turn, we had 2 heroic moves called, and I won the roll-off. So my Black Shield captain moved, bringing a large portion of my force to tie down Helm's cav flank. It was a really good, or rather, it was a crucial dice roll, and you're going to see shortly how it ended up looking. I was very pleased with keeping Helm and the tide of Rohan back, and here's an overview of the whole table of where everything is right now. So Jerry continued to move his Rohan to tag my wargs. He got closer to the gun line, and back onto the left side with Helm after my heroic move. Jerry had a big decision to make with some of his bodyguards to see who he could tag. He was worried about the spiders and tried to maximize the amount of men he could fit onto them in hopes of tying down or bogging down all the annoying creatures such as the bat swarm, the venomous spiders, and the warg marauder. Coming up, we have a small conundrum Jerry ran into. He had a Rider Rohan who had to take a courage test, and in hopes of not failing it, he decided to not test the courage of men and move back, allowing some space for his bodyguard, Royal Guard, to touch the spider that had joined the bat swarm in attacking Helm. And he continued to throw more models onto the Warg Marauder in hopes, through rate of dice, to kill it. And onto the right side of the board, we just had the spiders, the Warg Marauder, and just a few goblins tag the oncoming Rohan to prevent them from wrapping around to the other side / tag my goblin archers and the captain. And once again, both sides of shooting had no effect on anyone. Captains can't hit, huntsman can't hit, no one died this turn. So this was an interesting part of the game where it was going to determine if we continued or not. The Black Shield had called the combat with a cave troll on a single rider of Rohan, while Helm was fighting an enraged bat swarm, and I happened to win the combat with the BS captain and the cave troll. So it was at this point where we realized my Black Shield had the space to tag another rider, and the cave troll could join the bat's fight against Helm. And we both realized Helm would most likely die after this turn. So as the turn continued, we decided to do his fight last, and it was a bloodbath. I lost roughly 3 spiders throughout the combat. A lot of Rohirrim died on the other flank. Just a lot of deaths occurred throughout this combat phase. And throughout the combat phase, we were laughing about how Helm was supposed to be this badass, killing all of my models. Jerry, in fact, did claim that Helm would be the one to slay the cave troll, but during the time, he was fighting a cave troll who was going to roll 3 dice for the fight, and a channeled enraged bat who was rolling 5 dice, so the odds were not in his favor at all. As you can see while watching the video, a lot of my models were being killed. My Warg Marauders were pillow-fisted. Nothing was killing anything this turn for my goblins. I was at this moment where I told Jerry, even if I did kill his leader for the points, I was worried at this point in the game I would be potentially broken or shattered, just due to the amount of casualties I was taking throughout this combat phase. Not only that, I made a little joke to Jerry. Just by the amount of killing power his soldiers were doing to all of my elite troops, such as the Black Shields, the venomback spiders, the prowlers. I truly thought these men of Rohan were all Royal Guard, because my goodness, I was killing nothing at this point in the game. Even though Helm was on the verge of death, I thought I'd be shattered at this point. So as we watch the latter half of this fight, as you can see, once again, his men of Rohan are deflecting off my elite guard, I like to call them. My War Marauder got deflected off, another Wild Warg died, his captain killed more goblins. So I envisioned this wall of Rohan charging through my right flank, while my left flank could hardly kill the limited amount of men he had on that side. And here was the moment of truth. The combat with Helm, my cave troll had rolled a 6, therefore Helm could not do anything. Even with Burly, Strength 6, and a Strength 6 Bat Swarm with 5 attacks, Helm continued to live with 1 wound and just tanked on. This ensured the game would continue, since Helm did not die on his first game on the first combat. And Jerry had won the priority once again, and he won the heroic move. I contested with Druzhag with his last point of might, while Jerry, I believe, used one of Helm's, and thus ensuring the victory gone for me. I believe Helm charged my cave troll once again, while all of his royal guard decided to surround my bat swarm. It was at this point of the game where my hope of pulling a slight victory completely vanished. I was losing models left and right. I didn't kill Helm with all of those dice, and my main bat, my cave troll, I felt a lot of my important units were being encircled by all of these Rohan riders. And this is probably my highlight of the game. You're about to witness the first goblin to shoot and kill a Rohan soldier. I paid 40 points for the captain to do this, so I was so happy it finally paid off after 4 turns of shooting. And onto the combat, I forgot to mention, one of the spiders was shrouded, thus peeling Helm off the cave troll, and he was enraged, so Helm had to strike up to match it, and so the cave troll fought a single rider, lost the combat, and was trapped, but took no wounds. So the next part is going to be a lengthy 3-minute portion of the video showcasing the whole combat phase for this turn, and as you guys watch it, I'll narrate a bit, but you can see that a lot of models will die this turn. Spiders got killed, Rohan got killed, Black Shields died, I believe more Wild Wargs died, and it was at this point where Helm is still alive, and I am losing my major hitting force, which are the giant spiders in the army. So although it looks like the game is even, during the time it felt like there was no chance for me to come back, just due to the amount of hitting power I was losing throughout the combat. I was pretty much relying on my Enrage of the Beast and Shroud of the Shadow trick to work the whole time, but you know how dice go, they weren't going off every single time. And as we move across the table to the other side, this is where I got really nervous. His Rohan captain won a fight against my general and a venomback spider, and he wounded my general once. Thank God fate came in clutch, and I didn't lose any wounds. But it was at this point, and now I'm thinking, I'm losing heroes, I'm losing hitting power, and they are breaking through my little wall. Fortunately, as you're about to watch, my Warg Marauder and Wild Warg managed to carry the weight and start killing some of these soldiers. The Warg Marauder especially was impressive because it did manage to kill almost all 3 of the warriors just by itself. And once again, Jerry got priority, and this is where all the Rohan came swarming over my right flank. My archer contingent got swamped by them. My Marauder, which you're about to see, gets trapped by some Rohan archers and a huntsman, and he starts tagging my Wild Warg and my other Venomback Spider on my right flank, and as you can see, I pretty much have no right flank anymore. And a side note, the throwing spears from the Rohan were very impressive actually throughout the game for Clash by Moonlight. In some ways, the throwing spear was far superior over both human bows and orc bows. So as the movements continue to happen, it's like a cat and mouse game for this mosh pit. I'm trying to get to Helm with the cave troll. He's my best shot, but Helm is gunning for my Black Shield captain, so I'm trying to use all of my tricks to prevent that from happening. In this case, I use, I believe, one of my last points of will to Shroud of Shadow a spider that can go through and tag Helm and peel him off a model. And as you guys can continue to see on the screen, he's now forming a small speed bump control zone barrier with some spare Rohan warriors, which for me it's very annoying. My goblins can't get through. As you can see, I think that there's 1 or 2 fights, a Rider and a Royal Guard are holding up about 6 or 7 Black Shields. So at this point, they're going nowhere. We just have to kill them, but it's very hard with a strength 3 to a D7 or D6. Even the 6s, it's not going to happen. And here's where the Shroud of Shadow came in handy. It was a tough decision, but I sent my spider to the Royal Guard touching the cave troll instead of tagging Helm. I didn't have the will or the positioning to enrage the spider yet, and my thought was I'd rather deal with Helm the cave troll than a fight for spider. And we decided to move to the other side of the table to finish the combats, get the least important ones out of it, and this was quite impressive. The huntsman and 4 archers killed the Warg Marauder, which is expected, but with 14 dice, they could not kill anything else. Just the Warg. The 3 dudes fell down, landed on their feet, still ready to fight. And as we continue to go down the line, as you can see, there's a lot more Rohan than Moria on the table. Thank goodness my Venombacks can hold the few I have left can hold their own. It's not looking good, but it's not looking bad. And now for the actual highlight for me in the game. My archer contingent had to fight off a captain and a few Rohan warriors, which amazingly we did. And these 4 goblins have been living this whole time. And here we go back to the important combat where Helm has to fight the cave troll, and we both rolled the 6. We tied fight because he rolled a 1 for his strike, and of course Helm gets it. This was pure demoralizing, and thank goodness though he only wounded my cave troll twice, so there was another hope, another chance to kill Helm, a legend. And I think this recording just shows some more movements that's gonna happen for the next turn. I guess it's semi-important. As you can see, he grabs one of the Royal Guard to tie down both Ashrak and the cave troll. And of course, he's trying to touch all the spiders to minimize where they can go and just have more board control. Without Ashrak's Shroud of Shadows and both my magic casters being touched, it's going to be rough moving forward. All of my little gimmicks and tricks are being reduced more and more, and so at this point I'm not sure what the game plan is anymore. And once again, for this next, I guess, section of the video, it's only like 1:30. It's just me and Jerry finishing our movements. The game is dwindling to the end. We're both looking at the main objectives, which is to kill heroes. He's in a better position to do so than me. All I have defending my general is a 1 wound cave troll that Helm is gunning afterwards. So once that cave troll falls, it's open season. All of my heroes are just for the picking for this beast of a man. And during this time, we're both discussing Shroud of Shadows, the magic capabilities of my characters, and how he played really well, like shutting them down. So the beginning of the end starts now. My archer contingent falls apart a bit more, so less and less down there, and my general is trying to get a few kills, or at least lessen the captain models on the table. But unfortunately, once again, that doesn't happen. And what you're about to witness to is the saddest fight of all. And finally, the epic fight, the story of the cave troll versus the man is going to come to an end. Helm, hammerhand, finally delivers the killing blow on my cave troll while calling a combat. His only goal right now is to kill Druzhag, my general. Once he accomplishes that, the game, like the victory point condition, will be a 8-0 or 8-1 depending on it. So that's Jerry's main goal right now. Truly a sad day for any Moria player out there. Look at the cave troll Philip go. So if you may have noticed, there's a lot less more models on the screen. I did fast forward a turn or two because nothing eventful occurred during those 2 turns. Of course, an occasional model or 2 died. I was kind of pillow-fisted. I'm going to start recording now again because we're at the 3rd or 4th to last turn. And as you can see, Helm Hammerhand is currently fighting Druzhag, my leader. I want to say it was during this time me and Jerry started doing the math and just discussing potential outcomes, because I did tell him this is probably the last turn, because I felt like not only was I going to lose my general and all my heroes, I literally thought I was going to be shattered just looking at what I had left on the table. Nothing important is happening besides a few courage tests to charge my terror causers, tagging certain models, and just cleaning up, essentially. And this was essentially the final turn, or second to final turn. We're getting the last tags in for combats, and you're about to see Helm call a combat, and he's about to rock the hell out of Druzhag. Uh, Forgot to mention the past 4 turns I've been taking courage sets because I've been broken for a while now. I believe Jerry just broke, but he auto passes due to helm for the first one. And we're about to witness the death of my little favorite goblin, Druzag. And this is where sweet poetic justice comes in. After Jerry smited Druzag, he decided with his combat to charge my Bat Swarm. And expectedly, you would assume Helm would win. However, he rolled, I believe, a 3 high, and I rolled a 6 on the Bat Swarm. He had no might to change it, thus I won the fight. And we both laughed. I needed a 6 to wound, which I got, and therefore the Bat Swarm killed Helm Hammerhand. It is the strongest bat I've ever met in my entire life. Here's about the last turn that I'm going to put into battle report. We had another turn afterwards, but it was all clean up. The deciding factor was, as you can see, I zoomed in on his captain. We both had 4 characters. We both lost our generals. I lost all my characters. He had 1 left. If my Bat Swarm and Spider had passed their courage, they would have flown over or scuttled forward and tagged him, hopefully to kill him. That did not happen. Therefore, Jerry, the Rohan, did win. I believe the score was 12-7. We were both broken. Both our characters were killed, but he killed more of my heroes than I did. Thus, he got the 5 extra points, giving him the win. So, 12-7, I believe. Victory for Rohan.